Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Shake shoe bob shooby doo doo booby doo dow.
And the shot rang out, bang!
Hot dog!
Don't hesitate! It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow!
I am the very model of the modern folk musician. I like it once to follow and to satirize tradition. I've listened to those codgers with their ballads from the days of yore, and somewhere on the closet shelf I think I have a dulcimer. I've been to Philadelphia, Augusta, and the rest of all the other many models of the modern folky festival. I go there well prepared with a very large umbrella, and 6 or 7 gallons of the finest bug repeller. I try to sing in dialect from Cockney to Bulgarian. I've tried to give up smoking and become a vegetarian. Though when I sing the melody defies all recognition, yet still I am the model of the modern folk musician. I like the songs addressing matters social and political. Concerning war, you'll find I am particularly critical. I can't abide misogynistic movies, pornographic, or the slaughter of the elephants in India and Africa. Or when I'm not busy singing songs opposing all oppression, you'll find me with my tape deck at the local Irish session. I've recorded Celtic, I like Southern Appalachian. Appalachian. What rhymes with that? Oh, I got it. From Texas swing to klezmer, and from Quebecois to Cajun. I know bluegrass and old-timey are not in the least synonymous. I even used to know a song whose author was anonymous. My bearing and demeanor all support the proposition that I'm the very model of the modern folk musician. From 9 to 5 I work as a computer statistician, which makes me quite the model of the modern folk musician.
Hey, hey, hey. We're here on Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin. Welcome, folks out there in TV land, and we're with...
They're not out there in TV land. We're in here in TV land.
They're out there in their living room.
Yes.
That's right. I got that confused. And this is Mike Agranoff.
Hi, Ralph.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Do we have to go yeehaw now?
Yeah!
Okay.
You were cringing waiting for
I was.
Okay. Well, you wrote that song with
Sir Arthur Sullivan.
Sir Arthur Sullivan?
Yes, and also with Zip Beep Click, Sam Edelson.
Ah.
Yeah, he wrote it first, and I thought he had a couple of good lines and a couple of that needed some improvement, so I wrote it second. So we did it in tandem rather than simultaneously.
The folk process.
Yes.
And we know each other for years through the Folk Project. Mm-hmm. Which makes us both projectiles.
Yes. So,
yes.
Now what?
Whatever you want to do.
Well, okay, I will play you a song. Another ex-projectile, Rich Wrights, wrote this and gave me permission to do it.
Of Split Rock Rhythm Band
yes,
fame.
Long time ago. Not too well remembered now. The years passed. But he was, many, many years ago, lived up in a log cabin up in Split Rock in Boonton Township. And let's see, I think he had electricity, but he didn't have running water. And he kind of sequestered himself up there and wrote beautiful little songs during the night. And during the day, he went to work at AT&T and wrote computer programs that nobody in the world could figure out but him. So. He bought some land up in Nova Scotia, and then he went up to see it and came back with this lovely song about what it must have been like for the first Europeans to have seen it for the first time over the rail of a sailing ship. It was up in Nova Scotia with a band of pipers blowing, moving into Pictou Harbor. She comes sailing in the cork fog. She comes sailing in the fog. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away, hey, hey. And the lonely sounds of the bagpipes on the bay. With 180 clansmen and their homes so far behind them, and the island stood before them. She comes sailing in the fog. She comes sailing in the fog. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away, hey, hey. And the lonely sounds of the bagpipes on the bay. From the Nova Scotian forest come the gently rolling farmland that rolls to the foaming ocean. She comes sailing in the fog. She comes sailing in the fog. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away, hey, hey. And the lonely sounds of the bagpipes on the bay. And the lonely sounds of the bagpipes on the bay. And the lonely sounds of the bagpipes on the bay. and the lonely sounds of the bagpipes on the bay.
Very nice.
Thank you. The tune is called Return from Fingal. Actually, it's a harp tune, not a bagpipe tune, but it sounds to me like a harper imitating a bagpiper.
Anticipated my question. Can you anticipate my next question?
No.
What do you remember what the first thing was that got you like hooked on being a musician?
Yeah. I was always a button pusher as a kid. And my grandmother's piano had more buttons than anything else that I'd ever seen in my life. And I have my grandmother's piano now in my house.
Wow. Nice. Well, I think we shall take a little break for a public service announcement, and we'll come back in a short, brief time with Mike Agranoff on Horses Sing None of It. You can win this swell set of recordings by artists who have appeared on Horses Sing None of It, simply by sending your name, address, and telephone number to me, Ralph Litwin. Horses Sing None of It, 140 Morris Street in Morristown, New Jersey, 07960. You can win recordings by the amazing, incredible Liza DiSavino, Dennis Dougherty, Margot Hennebach, Juggernaut String Band, Dave Kleiner, Ansel Matthews, Kathy Moser, Patrick Regan, Elaine Silver, New Jersey Songwriter Circle, and these two albums by me, Ralph Litwin. To win, send your name, address, and telephone number to Ralph Litwin, Horses Sing None of It, 140 Morris Street, Morristown, New Jersey, 07960. Aha! I'd like to share my story with you. You've come to share your time with me. I've been a seeker since my youth. Found some things to set me free. Hope springs eternal in the ground of the human heart. And if we cultivate it, it's a glorious garden we'll start. I've had despair aplenty. For 40 years I didn't know what my problem was.
You should have asked me.
Whoa!
Sorry.
Then one day you really screwed me up there, Mike. That's okay. I'll start again. I've had despair aplenty. 40 years I didn't know what my problem was. I forgot I had decided. Didn't want to know what my problem was. So I kept on searching for my answer so true. And one day I remembered, I hope it isn't 40 years for you.
50.
Hope springs eternal in the ground of the human heart. And if we cultivate it, it's a glorious garden we'll start. Life can have its disappointments. We've all had our heartaches too. But if you choose not to hold on to them, they will not choose to cling on to you. I know I don't know all the answers. I found one that sometimes is working for me. And I wish you good fortune on the path that could set you free. Hope springs eternal in the ground of the human heart. And if we cultivate it, it's a glorious garden we'll start. Step we take to freedom brings us closer to the goal, where everyone can be free of fear and hunger and rest easy in the soul. Hope springs eternal in the ground of the human heart. If we cultivate it, it's a glorious garden we'll start. One more time. Hope springs eternal in the ground of the human heart. And if we cultivate it, it's a glorious garden we'll start. That's the brand new one from the pen of me. So, Mike, you've been performing for how many years?
Well, it depends on what your definition of performing is, but maybe call it 15, 20, something like that. I don't know.
15 or 20. What is this thing?
This is an English concertina, a instrument that I came across when a friend of mine found it at a flea market for a ridiculously low price, and he sold it to me for about 5 times what he bought it for, and we both got the best bargains we ever had in our lives.
And
I'll...
what do you like to do with it?
Well, I like to play tunes. I like to... It's actually sort of real useful for spooky songs. I'll do you a spooky song.
That sounds good.
Which I'll precede with a poem that I learned from Ruth Moore. I once saw a whale with a golden tooth, and he riz right out of the sea and opened his mouth when the morning sun showed that tooth to me. Nope. Oh, and once I was fishing the deep ground with nigh 6 pound of lead, and I caught me a cod as big as a man, and he had a man's head. Ain't no end to what I'd tell once I was well begun. Like seeing a devil rise out of the sea instead of the morning sun, and sea snakes lashing the moonlit waves with their terrible lullapins, and little mermaids with diamond eyes and solid silver fins. For some have eyes to see strange sights, and such a one I be, but then I ain't known as a truthful man. Nobody harks to me. There's a fisherman sitting alone on the land. His hands are his craft, his boat is his art. A fisherman sitting alone on the land, a rock, a hard rock in his heart. And there's a silky maid swimming alone in the bay. Her eyes are the seals, her heart is the sea. A silky maid swimming alone in the bay, and a pure white seal maiden is she. And she comes on the shore and she sheds her seal skin. She dances on sand, dances under the moon. Her hair falls in waves down upon her white skin, and only the seals hear the tune. Then standing, the fisherman takes her seal skin, staking his claim to a wife from the sea. He raises his hand holding up the white skin, saying, now you must come home with me. Oh, weeping she goes, and still weeping she stays. Her hands are her craft, her babes are her art. A year and a year and a year more she stays, a rock, a cold rock in her heart. Ah, but what is this hid in the fisherman's bag? It smells like the ocean, it feels like the sea. It's a bunny white sealskin closed up in the bag. Oh, and never a tear more cries she. Goodbye to the house and goodbye to the shore. Goodbye to the babes that I never could claim. Oh, but never a thought for the man left on shore. For Silky's my nature and name. She puts on the skin and dives back in the sea. The fisherman's cry falls on water-deaf ears. She swims in her sealskin away out to sea, and the fisherman drowns in his tears.
Yeah. Spooky and beautiful.
Thank you.
It
was written by Louis Collins.
Very nice.
Thank you.
And the tune?
The tune is hers also. The tune is hers. That's all hers.
We've been listening here to Mike Agranoff, and did we give your number to flash on the screen?
No. You want to do that?
Oh.
I told him not to. Well, I can tell it.
Well, if you'd like people to... There he is, Mike Agranoff.
It's 201-335-9489. Don't call after 11. You sing you a folk song?
Yeah.
Let's see. Excuse me, that's terrible. Now, Railroad Bill was a hard-drinking man, used to take his whiskey 2 at a time. And everybody said he was the fattest engineer ever drove on the Illinois line. His name was known from the folks back home to the tippy top of Telegraph Hill. And all the little kids, when they were sneaking cigarettes, they used to dream about Railroad Bill. Now one fine day, Bill was walking along when he saw a kitten stuck in a tree. When he saw it was the matter, he ran to get a ladder to set that kitty cat free. And Bill says, no, ain't gonna do that. Ain't gonna climb in no tree. This is a stupid, stupid song, and no folk singer's gonna make a damn fool out of me. Now one fine day, Bill was walking along when he saw a kitten stuck in a tree. When he saw what was the matter, he ran to get a ladder to set that kitty cat free. And Bill says, no, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do what you said. This is a stupid, stupid song, and as far as I'm concerned, that cat can stay there till it's dead. And I said, wait a minute, Bill, you can't argue with me. I mean, for sake, I just made you up. I'm the writer, goddamn, I want you up in that tree, and I want that cat unstuck. Bill says, no. Hate cats. Ain't gonna climb for no cat. Why don't you have me save a beautiful girl who's been tied to the railroad track? Well, I said maybe there'll be room in the 8th or 9th verse, but right now I want you up in that tree. I'm the writer, goddamn, I got the pen in my hand, and I want you to listen to me. Bill says, listen to you! Listen to you! Why should I listen to you? Why you should listen to me instead. 'Cause I'm a railroad man, and if I was real, I'd separate your face from your head. And I said, why, you ungrateful brute, you've pushed me too far, I'll show you I could do as I please. Just then an earthquake came and shook the whole terrain and brought Railroad Bill to his knees. And then a tidal wave broke and everything got soaked, and Railroad Bill got almost completely washed away. And then a great big green monster from the planet Neptune came down and bit Railroad Bill on the leg. I got the pen in my hand. I do what I want. I'm a bright young talent on the rise. So get your head up that tree or I swear you ain't getting out of my folk song alive. Bill says, you don't scare me. You may be funny, but you don't scare me. Because if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to tell everybody where you stole this melody. But before he could speak, his tongue fell out, and he could not make a sound. But just then he jumped up on top of me, and he grabbed me by the throat, and he pulled me down to the ground. And then he punched me in the stomach, and he punched me in the face real hard, and I think he almost broke my nose. And then, but all of a sudden, a lightning bolt came out of nowhere, hit him right between the eyes, and killed him instantly. The cat came down from the tree, had a bowl of warm milk, and went to sleep for the night. Railroad Bill is survived by a wife and 3 small children. Dear God, I love to write.
Written by the fabulous Andy Breckman.
Yes, indeed.
Well, we're disappearing here quickly if you want to.
Sure, let's just do that last thing we planned together.
Thanks for coming on the show, Mike, and thanks for tuning in there, folks.
The World Game Institute offers workshops and software to provide people with information, to inspire them, and to empower them to become better global citizens and to have a better global understanding. If you know a group or a school that needs more hands-on work with world issues, please contact the World Game Institute. You can call or write us at World Game Institute, 3215 Race Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19104. Our number, 1-800-220-4263.